Feels by Animal Collective celebrated its 20th anniversary this month. It's one of my favourite albums of all time, so much so that I've spent a straight 7 days of my life listening to this album, and one of the tracks, Banshee Beat, I've spent a straight 2 days listening to. It's my most listened to track of all time by time spent listening. In my youth, this album hit me like a truck. I can remember exactly where I was when I first heard this on my iPhone 4S 64GB white. It was 2012 and I was on my way to attend a Perfume Genius concert by myself. It felt like I'd heard something I'd been looking for my entire life up until that point. And by the time Banshee Beat kicked in, I was absolutely awestruck. This album's really deeply emotional and has some really interesting ambient pieces that were unlike anything I'd heard until that point. So to coincide with this anniversary, there's 2 big releases for it. The first is an expanded version of the album that contains all B-sides from this era, like Fickle Cycle from the single for Grass, or People from the EP People. It also contains a bunch of demo tracks that have never before been heard. I have the triple LP of this and it's absolutely gorgeous, and of course pressed to the only colour you could really pick for this album, purple, to coincide with the song The Purple Bottle. The other release is called Feels Live 0405, which is a collection of live recordings by the band performing these songs before the album was released. One of the ways that this has been issued is on this really rare format that's almost forgotten today called Minidisc. It was developed by Sony in the 90s and it looks like a PSP game. The reason why it was issued on Minidisc is because Animal Collective had a habit of recording their live performances to Minidisc, and also using Minidisc players as samplers in their early live shows. There's one track that was only issued on the physical versions of Feels Live, so I need to track down a Minidisc player so I can actually hear it. I would consider myself an Animal Collective historian, like the amount that I know about that band is absolutely sickening. And if you know like a little bit more than most people know about Animal Collective, then you'll know that there's a website called Collected Animals where fans like collate every single live recording of the band that was ever made. And I can report that on Feels Live, only one of the tracks was ever caught by one of those fan recordings. So a lot of this stuff is brand new. Feels is part of the era in the noughties where Animal Collective were absolutely on fire. They released 4 albums in a row that got Pitchfork Best New Music designations, in a time when that website was way more snarky than it is today. It's the kind of album where you think, damn, I want to go back to 2005, back to when Elijah Wood was unveiling the 360, play Condemned and listen to Feels.